right? So make sure you use that term if you're unsure. So I will definitely get those people, a hand clap this morning for all your help. So, like I said, without further ado, let me get my screens up here. Let me check the chat real quick before I get started. That way I won't, have to stop. Give me a second. LaMarcus, okay. I appreciate y'all. And it's not just, us three. It's all the other people that come in. Sister Vicky Dillard, shout out to her. Dr. Jamil, and you got the young brother in Uganda, Osei the Born Child. You have the other sister Carice that comes in from Cameroon. You have, Richard Sudan, which I think I got to post a video from him. He out the UK. So, and I'm having more people behind the scenes that are starting to, reach out, and we'll see how possibly we can get them connected in or see what they can do. Maritwana out there in Zimbabwe. We all like having just trying to connect a network of people. And like I told y'all before, it can't just be me. So in order for me to grow, I have to do things behind the scenes or even focus on other things, right? Because let's say like the entertainment genre is very fun for me, beyond which is very fun. This genre is very serious. This genre can be very taxing mentally. It really can be. So it's great to have a supporting cast. The podcast, doing one podcast a day, that's actually okay, and that works out very, very well for me. And I want to thank everybody for, looking at the podcast. But without further ado, let's get started on the first story here that we have to cover, because we got about a few stories we have to cover this morning. So, this story is out of Las Vegas that we're talking about here. So the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department and its sister department are being sued by a brother. It said that spent almost a week in jail for a crime he didn't commit. Now, the race soldiers arrested him in 2020 because he shared the same name with a white man. Hold on. He shared the same name of a white man who was the actual suspect of the crime. Now, even if you have the same name, they usually have the race on the warrant, right? Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whatever. How did he even get arrested? So according to the lawsuit filed on January 7, 2022, they said that in 2020, Shane Lee Brown was incarcerated for 6 days at the Henderson Detention Center and then the Clark County Detention Center after the race soldiers from two different police departments, mixed him up with this white man. So the man filing the suit, he a 23-year-old, 5'7", he black. The actual man listed on the arrest warrant is 49 years old, 5'11", and a white man with a bushy white beard and blue eyes. And the race soldiers failed to properly verify the person listed on the warrant. Oh boy, these people are so incompetent. They said now on January 8, 2020, the lawsuit says Shane Lee Brown was driving from work when he was pulled over by one or more unknown Henderson City police officers. They say he didn't have his driver's license on him, so he gave them his name, social security number, and his social security card. Okay? So they say the race soldiers ran the name, and when he saw first and surname pop up with surname, his last name, with a warrant, he assumed that it was the man waiting in the car they pulled over. He said, however, if they read the warrant, he said he would have seen the description of the man with an outstanding felony bench warrant for illegal ownership or possession of a firearm. And say the subject of the warrant was Shane Neal Brown. And say a man whose first conviction was in 1994, 2 years before even the plaintiff was born. So they pulled this brother over, didn't look at the warrant, just saw the name. And let me tell y'all something too as black people. Carry your driving license with you. Please do that. Carry your driving license with you. Make sure your car is up to date with the registration, inspection, whatever. Please do that. Try to give them the least reason to be messing with you. I'm not saying they won't, but try to minimize it, right? Make sure your car is up to date with the stickers, have your driving license, have your insurance. Please use your turn signals. They be looking for anything sometime to mess with you. Use your turn signals or whatever. Just follow the traffic laws. Don't speed, don't do that. Now, I know some of you will say, well, this one doing it and that one doing it. I don't really want to hear that from you because you're black in America and they're going to treat you different. Is it right? No. But as long as you're staying here, that's the lot you're going to be dealing with, unfortunately. Now, you don't have to deal with it. You can say, hey, you know what? I don't want to deal with these folks no more. You can always, head to a black nation, wherever that may be. But if you're going to stay here, I'm just telling you the truth, what you're going to have to deal with and what you're going to have to do to try to avoid confrontations with these race soldiers. So they say from January the 8th to January the 10th, the brother was in the detention center. It said he was transferred by the LVMPD to the Clark County Detention Center where he stayed until January 14th. Now, Shane Lee Brown, okay, now the white man name was Shane Neal Brown, is it communicated over and over again that they have the wrong man, but to no avail. And a lawsuit prepared by attorney Brent Bryce noted, despite being informed of this mistaken identity, none of the unknown LVMPD or LVMPD corrections officers bothered to review its own records or determine whether that Shane Lee Brown was the subject of the warrant. Basically, he just kidnapped that brother. And that happens. That happens a lot with black men. Black men in America are constantly in danger. Living in America as a black man, you have a higher probability of false, incarceration, arrest, and being gunned down by the race soldiers. No other race of men have that on their head like black men. So when they say black men in America is an endangered group of people, we are. We definitely are. And this is why when you see legislation like the George Floyd bill not get passed, see, these other groups of men don't have to deal with these issues and problems in the way black men have to deal with these issues and problems. You understand? So when it comes to this voting situation that you got coming up, the reason why a lot of black men in particular don't want to deal with the Democrat Party or just even the system in general is because we have seen the worst of the worst happen to the system. I'm not saying they don't target black women, but let's keep it real. They don't target black women like they target black men. They don't have those encounters like that. The Sandra Bland situation is not, common. But the Eric Garners, just pick a name. So many that happen, right? Sam DuBose. So many brothers I've covered over the years that have been, just gunned down by these race soldiers. This is something constant on black men. When black men drive, and they see these race soldiers, even if they just pulled over to the side, probably not even paying attention to them at the time, it raises your blood pressure and give you some PTSD. Living in this nation, stress that's on black men every day. You understand? And if you don't have that problem as black men, you're dealing with within our own community that you can be killed too. So you're getting the pressure from both sides in this country. And for me, that's why I always say that. And it is amazing to me how even some of y'all want to fight about it. And that's fine, fight about it. But I just be more at peace. And I don't have some stress and worry when I'm in Africa. I don't have that problem. And I'm sorry. That's a good feeling. That is a good feeling to me. That I'm not worried about no police pulling me over and gunning me down. Like last time I was pulled over by this little chick. I think I told that story. I'm taking my daughter to school and I know the school zone, right? That's by my house. I know I'm not going to drive fast in school zone. Well, this police pulled me over and I was past the line and I didn't even speed up and accusing me of going fast. Like, listen, I know, like I said, I do these videos, so I try to act accordingly. And this little cop at the time looked like Amber Geiger from the Bolton John case. I said, oh my God, Amber Geiger pulled me over. You know what I'm saying? I'm always following the track. Everything I'm telling y'all, I follow to try to minimize it. And even then, you know what I'm saying? I don't like that. I don't like no police. I don't like no police. I don't. Because I look at them as a group of people that threatens the life of not only myself, but definitely other black men. Now, a black police officer, I'm a little bit more comfortable. I'm not saying they can't be a raccoon, but I'm still a little bit more comfortable with a black police officer. Even the ones that raccoon, it's a certain way you could talk to them too. But when it comes to them other ones or them other groups that want to be white, that's the problem. That's the problem right there. So just for me, man, like I said, I'm just going to tell y'all, I have to be real with y'all. I'm more comfortable and don't have the stress when I'm in Africa. And I can't wait till we get to South Africa. Oh, I can't wait because I'm like I said, I'm looking for my place where I'm going to be. Say what you want. Now, continuing. They say that had any of the LVMPD police or corrections officers performed any due diligence, this is what the attorney is saying, such as comparing Shane Lee Brown's booking photo against the existing mugshot belonging to the older, it's a white Shane Brown, named in the warrant, comparing his fingerprints, birthday, ID number, or physical description, they could have easily determined that Shane Lee Brown was misidentified and a subject of the warrant. Now, they say a bench warrant return hearing presiding over Judge Joe Hardy was held on January 14th. Shane Lee Brown was appointed a public defender named Shannon L. Phoenix, and she shared the same information with the court that her client had been telling the officers since his arrest. It said in a dramatic demonstration, she compared a mugshot filed online of the white man to the one her client took just a few days ago, and she also compared the identification numbers of both men, something that none of the officers had done at that time period because they didn't care. It said the judge immediately released Shane Lee Brown, and the filing names of the LVMPD Henderson Police Department, the City of Henderson, Clark County Sheriff Joe Lombardo, and Henderson Police Department Chief Cedric Andrus, as defendants. Now, the brother's attorney says it's pretty hard to mistake of that magnitude when you have such different characteristics and races of the suspect. It's crazy. Now, say on Tuesday, January 11, according to the Las Vegas Review-Journal, says City of Henderson spokeswoman Kathleen Richards gave a statement regarding the lawsuit, saying that her department will address the claims in their response in court, and the police department don't have any kind of response. And said while both departments are tight-lipped, Bryson shared what he and his client's position is. He said this happens much more frequently than the public hears about. There's a lot of black men that have been kidnapped by these race soldiers. He said another similar case of Shane Lee Brown is in 2018 mistaken identity of 53-year-old Timothy Ernie Diaz. He said out of Chandler, Arizona, police confused him with Timothy Dean Diaz. They say a man 20 years his junior and arrested him in 2017. According to ABC Action, he had to borrow money from his family to post a $10,000 bond for a crime he did not commit. And the actual suspect was a young white guy with brown hair, a completely different profile than the innocent older Hispanic male. Now, they said despite Timothy Ernie Diaz saying he was innocent, no one believed him. They say his son made a public records request for the report over the Chandler Police Department, and the officers then noticed that they had the wrong guy, like Shane Lee Brown. They said they didn't even compare birth dates, not look at the full names of the suspect or the accused at all. Now, 8 days after Shane Lee Brown was released from jail, law enforcement found Shane Neil Brown in California. Court records show that San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office contacted Las Vegas police and told them exactly where to pick up the wanted man. So this dude was way in California somewhere. Now, they say with his lawsuit, Shane Lee Brown is asking for compensatory damages of $500,000 under federal law. They say, and an additional $50,000 minimum under state law, in addition to punitive damages. And that brother need to get every bit of that. I agree with that 200%. But the main thing is, ladies and gentlemen, is that this brother was kidnapped and he was sat in jail. And you don't know what can happen to you in jail. Not every person that go to jail come out alive. Some people go for something simple in county and stuff happens. This happens all the time to innocent brothers that went in. But you got some savages that's in these jails. This is not a life, because the more I'm telling y'all, as I'm looking at, I'm getting older, I'm reflecting on my life a lot. I'm looking at, I'm a firm believer, I want to be at peace. I want to be always be in a position of peace. I don't want to be in negativity. I don't want to like always just got something going on. And sometimes you have to change your environment to do that sometimes, whether it's moving to a certain state, city, country, whatever you feel that you need to do. So I always tell brothers, always seek peace, brothers. Seek peace, seek tranquility, get your passport, and have options to do so. So I'm going to check in with y'all real quick in the comments section, because like I said, we want to focus on what we're doing here. Yeah, the brother, I believe the brother going to win. Yes, black men are major targets. We are. Okay. Oh, God, okay. I'm going to pray. In heaven, Lord, help me, because Miss Earth is about to make me just say something this morning. All right, Miss Earth, have you been to South Africa? Miss Earth, have you been? Do you know anybody personally in South Africa? Do you? This is a question. I'm gonna tell you how I'm getting real. Ignorance is a thing that's really starting to bother me a lot as with time, because we have all these comments about black countries, no matter what a country is, but we don't talk about anything about even where we live. South Africa, the majority is black people. The president is a black man. The parliament is the majority, if not all. There's a few Indians and maybe a few whites in there, but there's majority black people in their parliament. The police is majority black. Yes, there are some white people there. Yes, there are some Indians there. There's some Lebanese there. There's some Chinese there. Yeah, that's true. You live in a country where whites control it, dominate everything. Everything. Like it's amazing to me how you would talk against South Africa when you living in a country that hate your guts. And they show it constantly. I'd rather be just beyond with you, how I'm feeling more and more every day. I'd rather be in a place where if they're around, they're the minority, than they're the majority. Because when they're in the majority, look how they treat black people. Look how they treat them. It's amazing to me how all this smoke about African countries or Caribbean countries or wherever, and you living in a system that literally got us in a worse condition than we were even during the civil rights movement. At least if you go start a family in an African country or South Africa, the government not going to be trying to destroy your family. I don't be hearing stories out of South Africa where black men are just being picked up, like this story we just covered. I don't hear that. I don't. Whatever African country you want to talk about, I don't hear that. Why do y'all think that you got a better situation here in America? You really don't. We don't. Well, I mean, I don't understand y'all. It's like every statistic show we are the worst treated. We're the worst treated in every measure. People come here to get their bag and step on our back, and they're constantly getting their bag, and you still would defend this place. I don't understand that. Afghanistan people come in here, get a bag, you still can't get it. The Asians get a hate crime bill. You've been here hundreds of years and can't get one. Getting money. Jim Crow Joe wanted to give your reparations payments to illegal immigrants from south of the border. You can't get something that you owe reparations. Why do you feel like... And this is why Marcus Garvey said. He said a statement. I'll never forget this statement Marcus Garvey said. He said, if you're no good in America, you'll be no good in Africa. My thing is, you can stay here, and that's fine. Stay here. I'm not telling you anything. I just don't like when y'all come and leave these ignorant comments without knowing nothing about what you're talking about, because you didn't go, you don't study, you don't even have friends over there, nothing. To even ask questions. I ask plenty of questions of people in these different countries. I do. I say, hey, what's going on with this? What about that? I'm constantly talking on WhatsApp to people. You're not even doing that, most of you. But you got all this ideas about a place that you've never been. It's better for them to be in the minority and you in the majority. I did a podcast, we'll be here shortly, about Marilyn Mosby. Look at what they're doing to her. You can go look at the podcast at 8 in the morning. They wouldn't dare do her that in South Africa. Let's keep it 100. They treat us bad in this country. Like, I don't see how you take all this. Please. Anyway, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. I just had to. It's just. And I'm not even trying. You talking about Europe? I'm not even trying to be over there either. But I understand some European countries are better in a lot of sense than here. Hell, I will tell you this. I went to Turkey, right? Istanbul. And even dealing with people in Turkey, even though it's not my people and I don't want to be there. Like, I'm not going to move there. But I mean, I go visit, do some whatever I'm doing over there. It's better than being here. I'm just saying just the way it is, the way the system is here for black people. If you got just a little money in a foreign country, man, you good. So yeah, y'all need to stop with that. Y'all need to stop. Then I see on these Clubhouse, y'all go to Clubhouse and all that arguing back and forth. It's just ridiculous. I'm like, can y'all please get education? They don't live in apartheid in South Africa. I promise you that they don't. That's been over 25 freaking years ago. You're living still in apartheid. In America, I promise you that. Apartheid is still going on in America. Now, with that being said, let's get to our next story. Whole Foods. They say they're not budging on this Black Lives Matter mask and apparel ban. Because see, Whole Foods don't celebrate or don't support Black Lives Matter. Now, I don't support the organization. I don't. But I do support Black lives it do matter. It do, right? And a lot of people will say that. They don't support the organization, which is controlled by white liberals, but they do support, the mantra Black Lives Matter. And many people say we need to probably just come up with some other name. And I agree with that. That way you can separate that completely. So they say instead the grocery chain is hitting back with the Constitution. They say in December 2021, the National Labor Relations Board filed a formal complaint against the Amazon subsidiary's dress code policy that prohibits employees from wearing attire with messaging, slogan, logo, or advertising. It's unrelated to the retailer. It's Whole Foods believes the complaint is the NLRB's attempt at the General Counsel seeking to compel employer speech by Whole Foods in violation of the Whole Foods rights under the First Amendment by singling out the phrase Black Lives Matter. General Counsel is impermissibly favoring and requiring that Whole Foods favor certain expressions of political speech over others in its retail stores. Now they say the retailer responded by filing a response listing out numerous rebuttals and denials to allegations made against it. It said those included denying that employees from several stores across the states were sent home, disciplined, or fired for refusing to remove BLM face masks and shirts dating back to 2020. As they further argued, it said that employees do not have protected right under Section 7 of the Act to display the phrase Black Lives Matter or BLM in the workplace, and Whole Foods maintains a neutral dress code that is lawful under extant board law. Now, a spokesperson for the grocer released a statement saying our dress code policy is designed to ensure that we are giving team members, a workplace, and customers a shopping experience focused entirely on excellent service and high quality food. We do not believe we should compromise that experience by introducing any messages on uniforms regardless of the content. Is that shift the focus away from our mission. Now, Whole Foods say that not allowing apparel such as BLM paraphernalia is a direct response to the social climate in which the movement was birthed. Is that the company stated employees wearing BLM apparel was an exercise in political and our social justice speech that which the alleged discriminates and charging parties sought to support societal change outside the workplace. They say with no immediate resolution in sight, they say the issue is expected to head to trial in March of this year. Now, they said NLRB is not alone in its mission. Whole Foods employees attempted to launch a nationwide class complaint against the retailer for its stance on BLM apparel. So 27 employees were listed as plaintiffs, each claiming they had experienced some level of discrimination or discrimination for wearing BLM apparel, or claiming to have witnessed supervisors allow other political charged apparel to be worn. And said the retailer said that the latter of the claims was especially unfounded. Well, Amazon would not have a case at all if they produced that. So any people that's suing, if you could show they had Trump gear, Biden gear, or any other gear, right, outside of BLM, if you got pictures of that and that's in your lawsuit, you about to get paid because they are targeting. Now, if they, yes, companies can say, listen, we don't want nothing, but we're going to provide you a face mask, right? We're going to provide you a uniform. You don't wear no face mask and nothing, no uniform other than what we give you. A company has a right to do that. I can't say that. But what they don't have a right to do is say, well, we don't want BLM, but we're going to see Trump paraphernalia, right? Or some sort of Republican gear, or come and take it, that mess. And you know what I'm saying? Biden and anything that they want, abortion or LGBT. No, nobody can have anything out in there, right? So let's see if that happens with that. So they said the judge ultimately ruled in favor of the grocer, saying it did not violate the Title VII of the Federal Civil Rights Act of 1964. At worst, they were selectively enforcing a dress code to suppress certain speech in the workplace. She wrote, so however unappealing that might be, it said it is not conduct made unlawful by Title VII. So the judge basically said, yeah, they were targeting BLM. They say, but they can do that. So if you feel that way in the workplace, you bring it up. And I tell black people, the best thing you can do is respond with your feet in anything that you may see. Respond with your feet. The money is what's important, the power of the dollar. And all you have to do is craft a message and say, Whole Foods, Amazon, obviously don't like social justice and black people like that because we just have a Black Lives Matter thing. Now, you can go with that message and continue that message and don't shop at Whole Foods. That's all you can do, right? Now, eventually Amazon would have to respond because, see, they like to keep this quiet. So Amazon would have to respond. And then they're pretty sure they say, okay, well, nobody should be wearing anything, which in a way, I'm just telling you just as a businessman, unless your business is crafted in something with social justice or whatever, going any route with it, you're going to have to let everybody do it, right? So if somebody want to come up there with that come and take it thing, you're going to have to let them do it. If they want to say Trump, you're going to have to let them do it. That's the only thing I'm saying. Once you let one, you got to let it all. So to prevent that just corporate wise, it's just hey, the company logo is Whole Foods. We providing you everything. If you need a mask, ask. We got plenty for you. And that's really how you take that. I'm pretty sure some of those supervisors, I've heard this in other stores where the supervisor may be pro-Trump, pro-LGBT, pro-something, right? But the moment black people come up with something, oh, no, we can't have that because those other groups are, so you know how they all feel about black people. But yeah, move with your feet. Move with your feet on any and everything, ladies and gentlemen. Move with your feet. Now, we have our last story here, and I'll check in with you here. This one's coming out of South Africa, and this is, speaking of South Africa, right? We mentioned that earlier. Let me check in with you guys here for a second. Just give me a second. Let me check in with y'all. You say you work at a company that have their own mask. That's what I would say, just to prevent an issue and a problem. Now, of course, here in our company, of course, social, hey, fight the power, whatever mask you want to wear here. I don't care, but we're rooted in that. If we were trying to be the black news channel, that place, well, we wouldn't want you to wear that, right? Because we're trying to appeal to white people. All right. So last story. Make sure to cue some things up on our last story here. So give me a second. All right. So our last story is out of South Africa. And the regional health minister has come under fire in South Africa for telling schoolgirls, listen, this is important, schoolgirls, not adults, schoolgirls, to open your books and close your legs. Now, Dr. Fofi Ramathuba had made a comment during a visit to a secondary school in a bid to encourage abstinence and reduce teenage pregnancy rates. Now, is that bad? Should she be criticized? Well, social media users criticize her remark and question why is it only directed at girls. Now, let's cue up a clip of our sister here. And I support the sister. She is my sister. Let's cue this clip up so you can really hear, because they defaming our sister here. Let's cue this up.
To the girl child, open your books and close your legs. Don't open your legs. Open your books, Kirigi. Open your books and close your legs. 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 Thank you very much.
You're quite correct that the girls are not impregnating themselves. If you go back to the full video, because those who decided to cut on that clip, for their own narratives, they decided to focus on that. I was very clear then where I was, even there's one clip that is circulating, which unfortunately it's not getting the popularity as this, where I'm saying to the boy child, sleep with your books, don't sleep with a girl. And I further on explain the danger of a boy child engaging in sexual activity, and even went on to explain the HIV statistics among some of the boy child who, when we trace back, and this is a fact, we could trace back to the fact that some of them, while engaging in sexual activity with a girl child, the girl child might have been a blesser factor, because you can't trace the infection rate on the boy child because he would say, I only had one partner. And also on their own, it's not going to be common that they will infect each other. The girl child is on her own. That is why, as a department, coming to this language, as a department, we came up with another campaign of dreams. This dreams campaign talks to that message. It talks about determination. It's focusing on the girl child, not ignoring the boy child, but you've got to empower the girl child. D stands for determination, and R, resilient. By resilient, we're saying teach the girl child to be resilient. And part of resilient is the girl child to say, not in my body. I'm not going to open my legs for you. I need to study my books.
Oh, man. Oh, hold on. Listen, doctor, I got to do it. Doctor. Yes, that need to be a mantra in America. Open your books and close your legs. Open your books and close your legs. Because especially right here in America, it needs to be some opening of some books and the closing of some legs. Because we have some heathens here in America. Listen, that's my sister right there. Doctor, I love you. I love that message. I love that message of morality. You're talking to the children. You're doing the Lord's work, doctor. Now, listen. I support you. You know what I'm saying? When I go to South Africa, I'm gonna ask if I can meet you. I want to meet you, sister, and I just want to just say thank you for what you're doing for the kids. And can you come to America with that message of open your books and close your legs? Because we got all these children running around with no fathers. And the reason why I said that, yes, that's a message that needs to be, because women are the gatekeepers of relations. They are. They're so powerful with that in this country that even if you're having relations with them, if the dude strokes and she says stop or no, and he do it again, that's considered, you know what, right? They even powerful on who children come into the world or not. They can do something that's so brutal and evil to me, and it's legal for them to do it. So yes, they are the gatekeepers of that in this country. So yes, it should, and I'm talking about this country at least, that should be the mantra. Open your books and close your legs. And I listen, I know a lot of brothers and some sisters who will agree. Now, these little modern females that got this evil in them, okay, and you got some of them over there too, want to start all that. It's a problem. What's the problem with that message to children? Something wrong with you. If you got a problem with that sister saying to school-age children, what's in your mind? What is in your mind where that's wrong? Now, continuing. Now, the health minister for the Limpopo province was visiting the Guanane school, secondary school in the township of, start with an S and it's a long one. It's a Segakaping, if I'm saying it right, on Wednesday to mark the first day of the new academic year. Now, of course, you heard the chant that she said, and she said that the girls are being lured by older men using luxuries like expensive wigs and smartphones. Now, I want to point that out. She said that these young underage children were being lured by grown men with weave, expensive weave, and some sort of smartphone. Now, of course, that's illegal in South Africa, and the police definitely need to crack down on that, because I don't care what country you in. Ooh, boy, I have a way, like I say, don't let me become a president of any country, because that right there, that sort of thing about children, or that's the death penalty with me. It ain't no more putting you on the registry. Oh no, because listen, you a devil. You can't be in society. You gotta go. I'm like the Bible on that. You gotta go. Now they said the comments, of course, it said sparked criticism after the speech was shared on social media. Said this is not an appropriate way to talk to kids about relations and consent. They say this is what they're saying. They say opposition politician Sivibwe Rube called the remarks deeply problematic. No, you're problematic, Sivibwe. You are. You're talking about this is an opportunity to have a meaningful conversation with these learners about consent. Instead, you victim blame, place undue pressure on girls, she said in a message on Twitter. See, people like you are the problem. Because let me tell you something. You do have some elements in South Africa, because that's probably one of the most westernized countries that you could probably be in. So unfortunately, because of that, you got some of those thoughts. It's not dominant like here in America, but you still got some of those things there. And what I will say to South Africans who could be watching this stream, always push back on any westernized ideals or thoughts. Look at America. Do you want your country to end up like America? Just really look at it. Every evil is good and everything good is evil in America. You don't want your country to turn to this place. The good doctor is what we had in our community years ago. Okay. And that was the mantra, period. And every black parent was behind it. Yes, you're going to have some sort of morality about yourself. No, you ain't about to be out here fast. You're not about to have no teenage pregnancy. You're not about to do this. You're not about to do that. You know what I'm saying? Now, Dr. Ramathuba told South African news site Times Live that her statement had been taken out of context, as you heard the sister say. And that's why I played the video, because she did say something to boys as well. But all it took. Now, why is it? Let's stop right there. Why is it wasn't offensive for her to say that to boys? Have y'all thought about that? Why wasn't it offensive? But it's offensive to say it to females. And it's like that all over the world. Black boys aren't protected. Black boys aren't treated right. Because if it was so offensive, you'd have been mad about her saying it to black boys too. But only to the female. And that's that Western system that give the female this protection status that's like overinflates. Everybody needs to be protected equally. Everybody. Little boys, little girls. Okay, if it was so wrong. So it's cool to say it to boys, but it's an outrage you say it to the female. Okay. The reason why you say it to the female a little bit more, because the female have a lot more to lose than the boy. Now, diseases aside, of course, nobody wants a disease. But that girl will be stuck with a baby. Okay? That boy, he'll never have to food that kid if he don't want to. No matter what country he's in. That girl gonna be stuck with that baby. Her life is freaking ruined with a kid, especially being a teenage girl having a baby. And let's say she don't have no help, or nobody gonna help her, or the family pissed off, or whatever the case may be, and say you're on your own with that kid. I ain't got nothing to do with you. That's why you're talking to the girls a little bit more, because it's gonna ruin their life. They're not gonna be able to live the life they once could have lived. They didn't have that kid. Your son, I mean, even in America, your son, okay, if he pays child support, he never got to see that kid. Never, even in America. The courts don't even care if you see your kid. As long as you pay that child support and provide that insurance, you good to go. But the female is stuck with the kid. And over there, it's not like here where these females could go run on food stamps and welfare and Section 8. All that give me things that you get bailed out of your problems. In places like that, it ain't no welfare. It ain't no food stamps. So you really got a lot to lose. So yes, this sister knows what she's talking about. Now, it said government statistics, show that almost 33,400 girls under the age of 17 gave birth in South Africa in 2020. As they Save the Children says the lack of access to comprehensive, education, as well as affordable and appropriate health services are key factors contributing to the teen pregnancies in South Africa. Also, poverty also contributes to some of that as well. As you look at any area that deal with poverty, you have a lot of births, okay? So with that being said, I support our sister. I'm going to have to take that sound and put that in my little list. Well, we'll say, open your books and close your legs. Doggone right. Sister, you need to put a T-shirt out to say that and everything. Oh, you'll piss them off, but you know what? That's a good thing for America. We need our sister here for that, for sure. But, ladies and gentlemen, let me check this real quick. Hold on. Give me a second. All right. I was kind of looking at some of y'all comments, but anyway, I definitely want to thank you, for joining us on our news report today. We greatly appreciate it. What we're going to do here is that we're going to go over to African Diaspora News Insider, and we're going to work on our news reporting for that channel. Be over there at least by 7 a.m. We'll be going live on that channel, 7 a.m. We will get the live streams set up. As soon as we end this one, we appreciate everybody for coming through. And thank you definitely for joining us here on our news report. And let us know in the comments if you like this.